What's up, maniacs? My name is Mets. I'm a wrestling fan, a wrestling enthusiast, a WrestleManiac, if you will. And today we are talking AEW Dynamite. We had two pretty big stories coming out of Dynamite. One, that Miro has now made his in-ring debut, and we got the return of Cody. The American Nightmare is back on our screens with a bit of a tweak to his look. So to hear everything that took place on Dynamite this week, stay tuned. Right here at WrestleManiac UK, I discuss everything that is WWE and AEW. So if this sounds like the place for you, make sure you hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit the notification bell so you get notified every time I drop a new video. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's get into the review. So we kicked off the show with the debut of Miro, the in-ring debut of Miro. He teamed up with Kip Sabian to take on Joey Janela and Sonny Kiss. And it was a really good match. I don't think we saw anything spectacular from Miro, apart from his physique. He looks brilliant. He's wearing kind of like boxer shorts now, like boxers shorts, not like underwear. But yeah, he looked really good. However, I don't think in terms of his wrestling style or ability, we saw anything different to his repertoire just yet. No changes on that front. But apart from that, he was really strong, he was really dominant. During the match, he looked like he picked up an injury. At one point, he came down heavy on his leg and he looked like he was limping around for a while. Played it off, kind of got on with the rest of the match. I hope there's no kind of long-standing damage there. But yeah, Miro got the win here after putting Sonny Kiss in the accolade, which is now going to be called Game Over. He shouted Game Over before he done it. I guess that's some type of Twitch joke or something like that. And yeah, Sonny Kiss tapped out. So Miro looking very strong on his debut, and it'll be interesting to see where we go from here. Next up, we saw Hangman Adam Page take on Evil Uno. Adam Page is just having some of the best matches right now, consistently on Dynamite. He is really good, and give Evil Uno his props too. Evil Uno put on a very good match as well. His performance was very, very good. At times the Dark Order wanted to get involved, kind of help Uno, but Uno done the right thing and told them, you know, go back. He sent them to the back at one point and said, yeah, don't get involved. We had Kenny Omega again on commentary, and he was still answering questions saying, is he going to get back in a tag team? He said, look, I was in the tag team division for a good time, not a long time. I'm done with it now, and I'm focusing on my singles career, and I'm going to get back in the ring when I feel like it, when I'm ready, when the opportunity presents himself. I think everyone's rumors of him kind of creeping up on Moxley, same way Moxley creeped up on him all those months ago, it's gonna happen. We're gonna see it. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we get that image. In the end here, Adam Page won with the buckshot lariat. A very strong move. It's being protected very well. And yeah, like I said, great match, great performance, great finish. Adam Page left standing strong. Next up, we had the TNT Championship match. Brody Lee, the champion, was defending against Orange Cassidy, that has obviously put in loads of work in the last few weeks and deserves this kind of mid-card title opportunity. It was a really interesting and funny match, like Orange Cassidy matches usually are. My favorite part was when Brody Lee was trying to put him away halfway through the match with the discus lariat. Every time he kind of stood up Orange Cassidy and was winding up, getting ready for it, Orange Cassidy would just fall to his ass. He couldn't hold himself up, he couldn't stand up, and he kept doing this maybe about 3 times. And then out of nowhere, Orange Cassidy tried to turn that moment when he was sitting down into a roll up and try to get a quick one over Brody Lee. It didn't happen. The match continued, and eventually Brody Lee put him away with the discus lariat. Really good match. I didn't think that Orange Cassidy was going to win. They are keeping Mr. Brody Lee nice and strong. And straight after the match, the lights went out, and as the lights were returning, we were hearing an entrance theme that we haven't heard in quite a while. Cody was back, and Cody is back to black. His hair is black, the blonde is gone. He was wearing a super sharp suit as he came down to the ring. John Silver and other members of the Dark Order tried to intercept him, get in his way. I know 5 and 10 also tried to attack him on his way to the ring. He put them all away, and Cody back, fired up, looking good. I thought he was going to be off TV for a while with this new game show thing that he's doing or presenting, but maybe I guess that's all been pre-recorded already. So Cody is back on TV. And then backstage, we had a segment where Brody Lee basically has challenged Cody to a dog collar match. Hopefully that's going to be at Full Gear, which I believe is the next pay-per-view in about November. And yeah, Brody Lee gave Cody 1 week to reply to accept the challenge. So hopefully he accepts it. I'm sure he will, and we'll see that match. We had a segment which I don't think needed to be as long as it did. Matt Hardy came out with Private Party and they were talking about how Jake Hager and Chris Jericho beat them the week before and how Matt Hardy was laid out the week before, and Matt Hardy was stumbling over his lines and it was just a bit of a mess. Eventually Jericho and Inner Circle came out and they were mocking the three guys in the ring, Private Party and Matt Hardy. And then Mark Quinn wanted to step up and challenge Jericho for a match after laying an attack on Isaiah Kennedy last week, but Isaiah Kennedy stepped up and said, yo, you know what, this is on me, I'm gonna take out Jericho, and he challenged Jericho to a match next week. So yeah, that's basically what they wanted to get at, the match for next week. I think this could have probably been done in a backstage segment, or maybe you just bring out Private Party to lay the challenge and Jericho replies at a later date. I don't think it needed as much time as it got, and it just wasn't really engaging so much. But yeah, next week, Isaiah Cassidy versus Chris Jericho. FTR, the World Tag Team Champions, were in the ring. However, just before we get onto their segment and what they had to say, guys, if you're enjoying this review so far, please smash the thumbs up button, give us a like. We thoroughly appreciate it right here at WrestleManiac UK, and it does loads for the channel. So please smash the thumbs up button. So FTR and Tully were in the ring and they are basically enforcing some new kind of rule, which I'm not quite sure if I understand too much, but I'll try to explain it anyway. It's a challenge match where the matches are 20 minutes long and FTR's opponents have to beat them within 20 minutes. If they don't, then FTR get the win. And I think it's maybe to demonstrate as well that FTR can maybe beat anyone inside 20 minutes. Best Friends accepted the challenge and came out immediately. FTR, after looking like they were going to take on Best Friends, said, you know what? You guys had the parking lot brawl last week. You need to recuperate, blah, blah, blah. It wouldn't be fair on you. So we'll take you on next week. So I guess we're going to see this new rule, this new challenge in action as of next week. Next up, we had women's tag team action. Hikaru Shida and Thunder Rosa took on Diamante and Ivelisse. And this was a good match, but it just wasn't enough, in my opinion. It could have gone for longer. They basically put the picture-in-picture adverts in between, which is just, come on guys. This is the only women's match on your entire show, and then you go and put an advert in between it. Like, let them have time to shine. Like, you've even hinged so much on these women. Thunder Rosa doesn't even work for your company. You see what I mean? Like, not enough is being given to these women, and then it's like when you give them something, you don't even let them kind of show their full arsenal, tell out the whole story that they're trying to tell. It was a good match, but just wasn't long enough in my opinion. And probably like we could have assumed, the champions got the win. Hikaru Shida and Thunder Rosa were left standing strong at the end. But yeah, I mean, the women's division really needs work and attention at AEW. These women, these four, have been doing a particularly good job in the last few weeks, 100%. But everyone else, where are they? We saw Britt Baker is going to be on TV next week. We got a little advert for that. But where's Big Swole that actually beat Britt Baker? Where's she gone since she won at All Out? You see what I mean? We just need a bit more continuity and more opportunities for the women of AEW. Last but not least, we had an AEW World Championship match. Eddie Kingston versus Jon Moxley. So if you remember, we were supposed to get Lance Archer, Brian Cage and Ricky Starks versus Jon Moxley, Will Hobbs and Darby Allin this week in a 6-man tag. However, apparently Lance Archer came into contact this past week with someone that might have had COVID, so he stayed at home and obviously the whole match fell apart from there, but it's the right thing to do. Eddie Kingston got this title shot because, as he's been saying, he never got eliminated from the Battle Royale at All Out. So this is why he got his opportunity at the World Championship, which is fair enough. Earlier on in the night, Eddie Kingston said a really good line. He said Jon Moxley is just a sports entertainer. He went over to that place to become a sports entertainer. He sold his soul to the devil. And now he wants to kind of come back and do pro wrestling, whilst Eddie Kingston, he never left this. He's always been doing pro wrestling in this shape or form. So that was a really good promo. Jon Moxley came out and they went head to head, but they were pulled apart by referees and stuff. And then yeah, here we are in the actual World Championship match, and it was a pretty brutal, physical match as expected with these two guys that love this kind of brawling style. There was a part in the match where both men were just giving each other chops in the middle of the ring. You couldn't really hear Moxley's chops just because Eddie Kingston wears a vest, but you heard Eddie Kingston's chops and you saw Moxley's chest literally turn to red after every single chop. It was crazy. These men went outside, battled on the outside for a bit, came back into the ring, and eventually Moxley put him away the same way he beat Brody Lee. He put him in this headlock move that he's been doing recently, and he went to sleep. So he never actually tapped out or anything. Eddie Kingston went to sleep, passed out. But Moxley didn't get to celebrate for long at all. The Lucha Bros came out with stereo super kicks. After Moxley hit the canvas, they came out beating on top of Moxley. Will Hobbs came out to try and make the save. The spine buster that Will Hobbs gave Rey Fenix, oh my gosh, that spine buster is getting better and better every single week. Hopefully there is big stuff on the horizon for Will Hobbs, because that spine buster alone is money. That spine buster, you need to go and see it if you have not seen it already. The big man came out and tried to clear out Rey Fenix and Penta. However, the brothers hit him with stereo super kicks as well. Darby Allin came out with his skateboard and was clearing house with the skateboard. Eddie Kingston was back up by this point. But then we saw Ricky Starks come to the ring and he laid out Darby Allin with a spear that literally cut through him. That was crazy as well. So it was left with the heels standing tall, Eddie Kingston and his family of guys all standing over Jon Moxley and all of them, man. And yeah, a chaotic finish to AEW Dynamite this week. So that was my AEW Dynamite review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We did see a few things in this episode which advanced a couple stories, like Cody coming back and now he's gonna probably have this match with Brody Lee. We saw Miro's debut. We saw Kenny Omega and Adam Page kind of continue their not so face-to-face rivalry, but it is bubbling in the back. And Jon Moxley again with a great performance in the main event, defending the world championship in the midst of Lance Archer being ill and not being able to conduct that match that was originally planned. We do hope that Lance Archer is okay and didn't contract the virus. Guys, if you enjoyed the review, please make sure you smash the thumbs up button, give us a like, and if you're new here, welcome. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you get notified every time I drop a new video. And that is it. WrestleManiac UK signing out, and I'll see you soon.